My name is Nicola Green. Welcome to the weekly wind-up. Today I am joined with Stephen Roberts, who is a conductor of the Male Voice Honley Choir. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Fantastic. So what got you in the choir?
I started conducting probably 30 some years ago, and it came about of me being at university. So my instruments at university were piano, brass and voice, so sang in choirs, and my sort of love of singing started to develop. Because I was doing conducting at university, I thought it would be a good idea to get a lot of conducting experience, so went to join a male voice choir as conductor, not as singer. And that taught me a tremendous amount, and as I say, that was 30 some years ago. I now have 3 of my own choirs and do lots of singing workshops, but I 4 years ago joined Honley Male Voice Choir as their conductor and absolutely love it. It's just a great setup, great singers, great team of people, which is really nice.
So you really enjoy it, and what do you think singing gives us then?
Well, I mean, it's health and well-being is something that lots of people talk about now, but there's that sense of belonging to a group, that sense of achievement. We come together at Honley once a week on a Tuesday, and you get people from all walks of life coming in. They may have had a bad day, there may have been, lots of things going wrong at work, but coming in for those 2 hours, they are engaged in singing, and it's my job to sort of guide them through what they want to do in terms of preparing music for a particular concert. And hopefully I send them away happy at the end of the 2 hours. I don't shout that often, but it's just nice that they come along, and it's a shared goal, it's a shared experience. And I think it's something that lots and lots of choir singers experience throughout the country.
Why males?
Well, there's a tradition of mixed voice choirs, so choral societies. There's a tradition of male voice choirs, and there's a tradition of female choirs as well. So I think it depends on what the local community has, and certainly in this area we're blessed with a lot of male voice choirs. And mine, of course, is one of the best, but I would say that, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you would. So how do people get involved if they wanted to be part of the choir then?
Well, I mean, what we're trying to do is, I mean, it's frequently seen as an old person's pastime. But actually it's not. I mean, the youngest singer in my choir is about, I think, 23. The oldest is 94, so it's quite intergenerational.
Yeah.
But we rehearse at Armitage Bridge on a Tuesday night, 7:30 to 9:30, and we have a website, so if anybody wants to join, then they can come along and try us out. We are quite friendly, and I believe that everybody can sing.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I was saying, people tone deaf, can anybody learn how to sing?
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't believe that people are tone deaf. We've all got a voice, we can make some kind of noise. It may take some people slightly longer, and it's about listening, it's about hearing to the sound that's being produced. And some people pick it up very, very quickly, some people have a naturally good voice. But I find a lot of people who are maybe not confident will come in slightly quiet, a little bit timid, and you get them to listen to notes you played on the piano, you sing it through to them, and they slowly start to listen and build their own sound. And especially when they're singing with 20 other chaps who are singing the same note, hopefully, then it starts to build confidence. And a concert we had recently, a couple of the guys, it was their first concert, and they were a little bit nervous, wondering how they would perform in concert, how do they remember all the words, and what would it be like. And they were just buzzing afterwards because it gave them a really sort of uplifting experience. It's a really positive thing to do.
And it must be really nice for you, because obviously you've got these people together and all of a sudden they're all singing in harmony and they're up on stage. I mean, how does that feel for you?
It's great, I love it.
Yeah.
I like an audience, as you might guess. But what I think is really important is that the choir come together, and I sort of sculpt it, if you like. I try and get the notes right, get the words right, put it together in rehearsal. And then there's that extra little something in the concert, which when we go on stage, I'm sort of the front man, the link between the choir and the audience. And hopefully, if they're feeling a little bit nervous, they look at me, and because I tend to be quite confident, I sort of transfer my confidence to them, and then I sort of pull a performance out of them. I enable them to perform and facilitate performance, which is good.
So what makes a good choir then?
A good conductor, usually.
Oh, right. You're taking all glory here, aren't you?
No, I mean, I think really that when choirs are singing well, that they are led well. But I think it's the choir members then understand their responsibility. I was only saying on Tuesday night at rehearsal about their responsibility for producing a choral blend and actually listening to the sound that the individual section is producing or that the individual voice is producing. We don't want one voice to be louder than the others. We don't want one section to be louder than the others. So it's actually understanding the responsibility that singers have within a group, and then it's up to me to sort of try and to put that together, to mould that performance so that all of those elements link together like a nicely fitting jigsaw.
Okay, so what do you see for the future then with choirs and your choirs?
Well, I think it's my job to try and engage with our audiences. It's so easy now to sit at home and watch entertainment on television. So a concert we had recently with the one-handed pianist Nicola Green was a movement away from just a choir singing on stage. We did something slightly different. We are going to be at Huddersfield Town Hall at Christmas with Carlton Main Collier Band. So that's Christmas with Honley, so that's really exciting. And also that performance is going to be signed by Paul Whittaker. So we're trying to engage a different kind of community as well. And then in March next year, a nice big exciting project for Honley is that we shall be combining with 3 other choirs, two of my own choirs from Manchester and Chesterfield, and then Lindley Junior School Choir, and we shall be on stage with Leslie Garrett.
That's fantastic.
So hopefully she'll bring some baking. She was on MasterChef, so she'll bring some food for us.
Which is always good.
Which is always good.
But not when you're singing, if there's dairy in there.
Absolutely.
And again, you know, is drinking water, is that, you know, they say don't drink dairy, is that a true myth?
Well, I think it is really. I mean, I think, you know, you've got to look after your voice because your body is the vessel in which your voice is contained. And, you know, if you're feeling under the weather, then your voice is going to sound slightly tired. So it's actually trying to look after your voice and look after your body and look after your instrument.
Okay, so thank you for coming in
That's
today
okay.
and telling us when you're playing, and you know, it's lovely to see you.
Great, well, thank you.
Thank you. So I'd like to say thank you for joining me and Stephen today on the Weekly Wind Up, and join us next time.